Okay, here it is in all of its glory, the 2002 Buick Park Avenue. This has been a great car. I've driven it about 44,000 miles. It's now April 2021. Got it in October of 2018. Came exactly at the time I needed it. I've driven this car. I don't live in Utah. That is just there because I love Utah. But I've driven this car, actually not to Utah, but to Maine, to Arizona, to Texas, to South Alabama. So it's really been a tremendous vehicle for me, and I'm sad to see it go. But it is the time, due to some life circumstances, moving and whatnot, to see this vehicle go. So these headlights are new. Just put those on a couple months ago. This vehicle is great for anyone, whether you're looking for something to drive back and forth to work in, whether you're looking for just something to cruise around in, or whether you're looking for a daily driver. It is a tremendous vehicle, very comfortable and very reliable. I am about to stop working there, but right now I work as a product specialist at a Honda dealership, and I've long been a fan of Asian vehicles, Honda, Toyota, things like that. But this 3800, this is the Series 2, but any of the 3800s stack up just as well against those engines that Hondas and Toyotas put in their vehicles. I had a friend whose dad had one of these Park Avenues, and it went 250,000 miles, and mine's got 183. I've done basic maintenance on it. I've replaced the water pump, some of the brake stuff, but you know, a water pump at 170,000 whatever miles it was at when I did that, pretty acceptable, if you ask me. So it's been a tremendous vehicle. Like I said, all my stickers from some of the places I've traveled, Park Avenue badges, nice size trunk here, and also down in there, it's got the tire and the jack, and then a little, I've heard them called ski passes. This thing right here, you can open the back seat and fold that down, and then stick like a rug or something through there if you needed to, and whatnot. Heated back there, and then this also has that air suspension on it. If you're looking to buy one of these, do make sure that works. If it doesn't work, you'll be able to tell. The back of the car will sag down just a little bit, so just watch out for that. In the back seat here, they don't make them like this anymore. That sounds like an old person thing to say, and truly it is. I mean, you see this car that I'm driving, so you know I'm kind of an old person at heart, but extremely comfortable. Great for trips because everybody can plug in and charge their phone. Has it on that side. This console comes down just like normal, cup holder, storage, and then more storage right there. And then this is the little thing that I was talking about that you could open up to go in the trunk there. And there are vents, both for upper vents, and then also there's a couple little airlines that run and can put out feet air back here as well. But very comfortable and good space. There are also car seat anchors. I'm selling this vehicle to my cousin, and he's got a couple grandkids. I'm sure he'll utilize that in the car. So it's like I said, it's good for anybody. Got the little antenna back here that the cars of that time had on them that you can stick up. Maybe you remember your grandparents had a car like that. And then these mirrors, the driver's side one is heated, but there are electric, of course. Pull that little remnant of a wasp nest out of there. I have fairly new wipers on the car, and then one of my favorite things, of course, is the little hood ornament leading us in triumphal entry wherever we go. So love those. In the passenger seat real quick before we start it up, get over in the driver's seat, there are powers things on this side. As you get in, you got the nice logo there, dual zone climate control, and then these up here, pretty impressive, a little bit ahead of their time. You can control the lights, not even new cars. You can do that. It can be dimmer or brighter. Of course, that can come off, and then instead of the actual whole thing coming out, you can just do this on the end, which is pretty neat. And then these things also come down. So if it's sunny, like all over, you can have a total guard there, which is pretty neat. Down in the glove box, got the books and then all the service records down in there, and then the seatbelt thing over here. One small complaint about the car. Okay, actually two small complaints. This stuff, there's kind of some cost cutting that went on with some of this plasticky type stuff, vinyl type stuff, and also with these cup holders right here. There's some cost cutting. Have that problem with my new vehicle too, which I'll talk about just a second briefly, but they work. A little storage area right there. I can't get that coin out of there, it's stuck. But anyway, down here, little cigarette ashtray thing. I think I use that to plug in my FM adapter. All this stuff, except a couple lights up here and the bottom cool thing right there, work. But you do have radio, cassette, CD, and the air works great in here. The heat works great. You can adjust the temperature to exactly what you want it. You have the capability to do OnStar and stuff like that. I love the compass in here. You can hook your garage to it. This is a 2002 HomeLink system in here. This over here does the same thing as the passenger side. In addition, has the extra space right there. Beautiful leather wrap steering wheel, still in great shape except for just up here on the back. But that's a normal place that people keep their hand while driving. So I'd say that's pretty acceptable as far as that goes. I'm gonna hop over to the other side now and we'll start it up. One thing that I like about while I'm out here, this is my truck, my 1997 Chevy Silverado, but this is what I'm selling the Buick, and I got this. This is a 2002 Lexus RX. It only had 79,000 miles on it, and it had been all dealer serviced by Lynn Stoller Lexus outside of Baltimore. And I bought this vehicle from Owings Mills Motor Cars, which is a used car dealer right across from that. And then this car I bought from Trust Auto Sales in Murfreesboro, Tennessee. So both at Owings Mills outside of Baltimore, Owings Mills Motor Cars, and Trust Auto Sales outside of Murfreesboro had excellent experiences with the men and women at those dealerships. So if you're looking for a good used car, Trust Auto Sales outside of Murfreesboro, and Owings Mills Motor Cars outside of Baltimore. Now in here, nice gauge setup, window lock, auto window over here, mirror stuff, memory seats, just like normal. And then one thing the Lexus doesn't have that I do miss already is buttons on the steering wheel. I have to reach up like it's the 1700s and I actually touch the stuff on the dash. But luckily, with the seating position I have, it's not too bad. So over here, fires right up. My gas gauge does move around, especially once it gets lower. But what I do is I just keep track of it with the trip computer. So the sensor's broken. I literally checked the tires this morning. It happens even if they're freshly rotated and balanced. It happens if I add air to them. It always says low. But gauges and little things like that are common on these older GM vehicles. You can see there are no other lights on. You just clear it by pressing any button over there. On the clock, 183, 127. 20.8 miles on this trip. I usually get between 300 and 400 miles out of a tank, depending on its city or highway, typically closer to 400 or above, just because a lot of my driving is highway. My tachometer, which is the RPM thing, did not work for a while. It like spun over and went underneath in the summer of 2019, but then one day it flipped back, so it does work now, which is nice. It is a warm day outside, so I'm gonna go over here and turn on the air and get that going. Recirculation, rear defrost, front defrost, just the vent if you want it. In this vehicle, one of my favorite things about it, let me just pick a radio station here. I want you to watch this, just watch that, okay? I'm gonna use the volume button and watch that. Look at that, it moves with the volume thing. That is one of my favorite features about this vehicle. Preset scan, CD controls and all that over there. Column shifter. So then you got 3 low gears right there. And then I'm gonna put it back in park. This is the parking brake light, by the way. Let me see if I can focus. You may not be able to see it very well, but I just had that on because I was on just a very, very slight incline. So yeah, over here you've got the wipers and the blinkers and things like that. And then over here, this is how you go back and forth between the trip A, trip B, or 1 and 2 it has listed here. This car will show you your instant fuel economy while you're driving, how long you have until empty. It'll show you how many gallons you've used. It goes to like 100 and then starts over, but that's really cool if you're trying to keep up with it on a trip. Your average fuel economy, and that really is about correct for this car. And there it goes back to instant fuel economy. Speaking of the average fuel economy, on a flat road going 75, 80, this thing will do 27-ish, sometimes 28 miles a gallon. With the way I drive though, expect more closer to the 23, 24 range, depending on where you are. Gas mileage is so dependent on the driver. That's what I tell customers at Honda as well. Now that gauge info button, that's going to show you your oil pressure, your coolant temp, your battery, your oil life, and then of course the tire pressure as well. But I love that it shows you that stuff. You know, the truck, it has all the gauges up there, but I like that that one has an option. And then that resets just for resetting the trip and whatnot. And then you can change it to kilometers if you want. So you saw it says KPA right there and then kilometers per hour. When I first got this car, I accidentally changed it to that, and I freaked out for a minute because I thought it was going way over the speed limit, but it was just the kilometers per hour thing. Now, this down here is where it gets pretty epic, okay? Twilight Sentinel, and you can actually move this up and down, and it controls, I can't remember exactly which lights on the outside it controls. I meant to look that up before I did this video. It's been so long since I've thought about it, but I just think it's kind of cool that it says that. And then this right here is how you turn your lights on during the day if you don't want them on auto, and how you adjust the brightness of your dash. Then down there is your fuel door, your trunk, hood, and then the e-brake, and my new custom Chacos. Yes, I know, aren't they awesome? Just kidding. And then this thing has a really stout horn on it. Let me roll the window down here. It sounds like a train almost, but did you hear that, man? People will move right out of your way if you blow that thing. So yeah, and then there's me awkwardly in the background and the compass thing. But yeah, great AC in here. Anyway, like I said, it's heated. You can kind of see right there. Yeah, it says heated. Anyway, thanks for watching, guys. This is my first YouTube video. I did not intend for this to be something fancy. Just me talking about a car that I love. And yeah, if you want one of these, you can find them, literally a lot of them for less than $3 grand. Just buy one, make sure it's had the water pump done, make sure it's had regular oil changes, you know, go drive it, make sure there's nothing wrong with it if you can. But it's a terrific, terrific car. Just for casual driving, for that first driver, or if you're looking for something to cruise back and forth to work in. Okay, have a great day, and thanks for watching.